thing happen to McCarthy if they lose in the first round.
No, that I think you're totally right.
I don't think Ron Rivera is a lock to return. And listen, Todd Bowles running Tom Brady out of town. Something's going on there that is not pretty.
They don't.
The fake punt call. There's a video of Gio Bernard in the locker room with the media. You guys should go check it out. It's kind of funny. Tampa, there's some bad vibes, as the kids say.
Yeah, I will say this though. We had Jimmy Johnson on earlier. You got to give Detroit. My entire life has ruined Thanksgiving. They're awful. But I will tell you this: they're not a playoff team yet. We saw two teams that aren't playoff teams yet. The Jags and the Lions yesterday. Absolutely feel like playoff teams this morning. And
dangerous ones, too.
Oh, they can get in. If you can win multiple ways, that's what playoff teams do. Giants can't. The score has to be low. Jets can't. Patriots can't. I mean, literally, Mac Jones does not have a fourth-quarter passing touchdown all season. That's not a playoff team. They may get in, but they don't feel like it. Here's Jimmy Johnson on Dan Campbell, the coach.
People say, well, these guys are getting paid umpteen $1 million. You shouldn't have to motivate them. Let me assure you, you need to motivate them. Maybe the top 8 or 10 on your roster, maybe they're self-motivated, but they still need some motivation. You know, every company brings in motivational speakers for their top executives. Everybody needs to be motivated. But I tell you where Dan Campbell's done the job. He's motivated that bottom half of the roster. Because I promise you, some of those knuckleheads, they need to be motivated. But if they're not motivating the bottom half of that roster, then you're not going to get the best out of your organization, and your team's not going to improve.
You know, so I think the Jags and the Lions, we got to keep checking on them, but they do have a playoff feel. People think I don't like Miami. I picked Miami to make the playoffs. In fact, this morning, I have the AFC perfectly. I picked the Bills to win, Miami wild card, Patriots third, Jets fourth. So there's a couple divisions in football I've got right top to bottom. That is one of them. It's not that I don't like Miami. It's this nonsense about Tua as a Pro Bowler. You've got to add context to it. He was capable. If you go back to that Miami-Buffalo game, Miami had the better game plan, the better run defense, absolutely an identity. Jalen Waddle, nobody could cover him, and he went 17-30 in perfect weather. I mean, think about this. The longest drive in the fourth quarter when the blizzard hit was Buffalo. So Tua didn't play a lot in the fourth quarter. They got a huge weather break because if we were going to get a blizzard for 3.5 quarters, there wasn't a snowflake. It was perfect. And Jimmy Johnson earlier, he lives down in Florida, Miami, on where are you right now with Tua?
They're making the best out of what they have with Tua. No, Tua is not Joe Burrow, and Tua is not Herbert. He is not Josh Allen. But if you give him the right supporting cast, Tua can win for you. Franchise quarterbacks are hard to find, and even pretty good quarterbacks are hard to find. You look around the league, about half of them, really, some of them can't play a lick, and so you really got to do the best out of what you have until you find something better.
Yeah. So, and again, that's where I am with Tua. It's fine. Fall in like with him.
So can I give you something? Miami.
Don't fall in love.
Miami 8-6.
They feel like a playoff team to me.
Okay, let me tell you if they still feel like a playoff team. They host Green Bay.
Win.
Green Bay is not mathematically eliminated yet.
Yeah, but they're going to beat Green Bay. In Miami, they'll beat Miami.
In Miami
wins.
on Christmas Day.
They'll win that.
Okay. Then they travel up north to New England.
They'll win that game.
Oh, and they close with the Jets.
Where's that game?
In Miami.
They'll win that game.
So you think they're going 3-0, they're going 11-6. So you have them definitely in the playoffs.
Well, yeah. We have proof. They faced 5 non-playoff teams. They went 5-0. They faced 3 playoff teams in a row. They lost all of them. Now you're asking me, are they going to do well against 3 non-playoff teams?
Fringe non-playoff. I mean, all those 3 teams are in the hunt. Green Bay is technically in the hunt.
But we looked. Let's show the graphic from earlier. It's very clear with them. When they face borderline or non-playoff teams, Miami's offense is too much to handle. When they face playoff teams, Miami doesn't win. Tua is not the same quarterback. So now you're asking me, Packers at home, Jets at home, Patriots. They will beat all those teams. I mean, it's clear. It's right.
We should make a friendly wager on the show. There's no way they're going 3-0 to end the season. I'll tell you that straight up.
Okay, what do you want to bet? Oh, they're going to go 3-0.
100%? I'm not putting anything else in my head. I don't know. We'll let it marinate, and maybe we'll open it to the audience, Elon Musk style. What should we wager for the Dolphins going 3-0? Nothing rated R, folks. Keep it clean.
I'm not saying they're blowing them out. They will beat the
All they gotta do
Packers
is
at
win.
home,
Yeah.
the Patriots in Foxborough. That's the close one. And the Jets will be toast. They'll rest some of their.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Jets will be toast. So, by the way, two teams are 2-0 against the spread against the mighty Buffalo Bills this season.
Who?
Miami and the Jets.
Well, it's division games.
Each of them beat Buffalo once, I should add, for the Bills fans.
Yeah. You've been keeping up with the news lately. You know we are living in challenging economic times. Americans are suffering from supply chain problems.
In this game. But if you play that silly game, if you put Jalen Hurts on the Bears and Justin Fields on the Eagles.
I think Jalen Hurts is better right now because I think he's better, more experienced, fewer
better. He's
mistakes.
got an elite offensive line.
Well,
He's got
know.
A.J. Brown and Devontae
But I think
Smith.
Jalen Hurts, I think we undervalue him because of his size. I think he doesn't make, like yesterday, he admitted after the game, he's like, that's the coldest weather I've ever played in.
He had no touchdown passes.
I
He
know,
had 2 picks.
but-
He only had 3 all season coming in.
Okay, but came off a blowout win. Cowboys next. Wasn't that your classic
Trap spot, yep. Bears
I
covering
took the
spread.
Bears +9.
Indeed.
And they outplayed them for big chunks. I mean, it's...
Yeah. I was nervous when Fields got hurt, then he came back. The kid's a warrior. And the Jets passed on him for Zach Wilson. Anyways, Fields had that spectacular 39-yard scramble you alluded to, became just the 3rd quarterback in NFL history, over 1,000 yards, joining Vic and Lamar Jackson with 3 games to go. Needs 206 to match Lamar's single-season record.
But he's bigger than those dudes. In size, strength. I mean, Justin is... That scramble was insane.
He's just really fun to watch. If you're a Bears fan, again, another great scenario. You guys play hard, you get a close loss, and oh, by the way, you got a top 5 draft pick coming your way.
This coach and this GM have to overcome the previous GM.
Yeah. I'll just point out, Robert Saleh and the Jets in year 1 were awful in every aspect. And right now, they're fighting for a playoff spot.
But they're not going to make it. So
they're not, but guess what? The Bears were in the NFC, where the wild card options are like Washington and the Giants. Next up, Mitchell Trubisky. Speaking of bad quarterbacks, he started for Kenny Pickett, and he was serviceable, 17-22 for 179, rush for a touchdown. Mike Tomlin, of course, did not have him making any risky throws whatsoever. Steelers sacked Sam Darnold 4 times. Sam Darnold, you were excited about him last week, Colin. Held the Panthers to 209 total yards.
I know.
Tomlin, 6-8. He's got a shot to keep that 500 streak alive.
This was a corner TV game.
Bad game.
Just Denver.
Every time I looked up, Sam Darnold was running for his life.
Games this weekend were either great or unwatchable. There wasn't a lot of like Cleveland, Baltimore,
Unwatchable.
Denver, Arizona,
Unwatchable.
Pittsburgh, Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
No, they have to see. There's a lot of. I'm telling you, man. There's every year, 8 coaches get fired and 8 teams are desperate for a
Do you
quarterback.
keep Steve Wilkes? I think that's the guy in Carolina right now.
I don't know. He. All I know is this.
They were playing hard for him. They're in the mix in the division, and then they,
Folks, there's only about 4 quarterbacks that are first-round talents. There's 8 teams that need it. If Baker Mayfield
4 might be generous, Colin.
If Baker Mayfield chops it up tonight, win or lose, somebody's going to give him a bridge job. They are for 2 years. He's not going to be the franchise guy, but he'll get a 2-year, $30 million contract. There's nothing out there. Well, what is out there?
So JNC Consulting, which if viewers missed it, we hatched that last hour.
Yeah.
Our consulting firm.
Jason and Colin Consulting.
Yeah, Jason first, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not advising a buy on Baker as a bridge quarterback. I think the move for him is to be a backup to Stafford. Hell, I would rather back up Justin Herbert. I mean, the guy's taking some hits. That's more value than going to some bad team and making a bunch of money.
I know, but it's easy for us to say if somebody offers you $18 million or $3.
You don't think I've had offers since I started the show that are willing to pay me more money than this?
Sure.
You think I want to go to these other radio hosts?
But it's one thing if it's like backup is 9, starting's 11. But when you're young, he's like, what is he, 29 years old?
Is he 29?
Well, he's not very old. I mean, how old is Baker Mayfield?
29? I thought it was
29?
closer to 27.
I got to be honest with you. That's an easy thing for us to say. Okay, he's 27 years old. Somebody offers me 18 or 3. I'm taking the 18. I'm sorry, winning. I'm not Mahomes. I'm not going to win the Super Bowl anyway. If I'm a backup on the Rams, I still don't get credit for the Super Bowl. I'm the backup. So it'd be one thing if it's starting for the Rams for a low number with McVay, then I'd take way less money. If you said Stafford retires tomorrow, and you can make 6 with the Rams and 18 with Houston.
No.
I would take the Rams
Of
starting with
course.
McVay. But back up to 18 million, I'm taking the 18 million. No, winning's not, again, I'm not winning the Super Bowl anyway. Give me the bag.
I need to let it marinate a little more. Honestly, I don't think that's that easy. We'll ask Sean Payton when he comes on. That's a tough one, Colin. I mean, $3 million versus 18. LA taxes are significant out here.
Sure.
I don't know what they're like in Texas. I've never lived there, but I'm assuming they're better than California.
They're better. Let's just
All
say
right,
that.
we'll
They're
wrap up.
better.
Oh, look at this. We're wrapping up with Baker Mayfield and the Rams facing Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. You've almost convinced me this game is worth watching.
It is.
I have no money on it as of right this moment. Baker last Thursday, thrilling comeback. Everybody forgets the first, 53 minutes where he was awful. But he did it all just after landing 48 hours and joining the team. He faces a Packers team outdoors tonight. I haven't checked the weather. Packers really struggling. They're basically must win out if they want to have a chance at the playoffs. They're mathematically alive, but they're averaging 27.3 points per game in their last 4 after just 17.1 in their first 9. Fox Bet has this as Packers at